Welcome to Mile High Reefers. I'm Scott Anderson, and it's time to do a quick tank update. So like many of you, it is May, and I am incredibly busy with graduations and yard work and birthdays and everything that happens in May. I'm incredibly busy. So for today's video, I'm gonna sit in front of the tank, minimal editing, and we're gonna talk about how this big 210-gallon reef tank is doing. So, to begin with, let's talk about some of the problems that are not reef related, because those run into the reefing industry sometime. So yesterday, I went to go pick some anemones up from the airport, and on my way there, I was rear-ended. Yeah, sucks. My car is completely totaled, so now I had to find another car. So I'm okay, the person driving the other car is okay, but both of our cars are totaled, so we gotta find new vehicles. So I don't know this other person, but they rear-ended me, so now it's time to get another car. So my car is trashed, so now instead of making videos, I'm gonna be wasting time looking for a new car. Not what I wanna do, but it's gotta happen. As far as the tank's going, I haven't had tons of time to work on it, but I have been focusing on water changes. As far as water changes go, I'm not a huge fan for daily maintenance, but when you got a problem like I have, if you haven't seen my other videos, I've been dealing with algae and the decline in some corals. So when you have that kind of problem, water changes are a great way to deal with that. The problem I've been running into with water changes is actually getting salt. Should be the easiest thing in the world. For years, I've been purchasing my salt off of Amazon, and it's great. The salt is cheap, and they deliver it right to the door. The problem I'm running into is with the U.S. Post Office. My local postal carrier has decided that they just aren't gonna bring the salt to my door. It's too heavy for them. So I have to figure out how I get salt now, because the local postal carrier has just decided I can no longer have salt brought to my door. It's too heavy for them. Even though it's well within the limits of the weights that the U.S. Post Office says they'll deliver to the house, my local carrier has just decided, no, not gonna do it. You can't have salt. So this sucks. Now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get salt. So I'm probably gonna have to actually drive to a store and pick it up, which is kind of a pain because I don't have time to do this kind of stuff. And it was great having it delivered to my house. So thank you, United States Postal Service, for supporting your customers so well. I really appreciate it. Okay, so next let's get on to the tank itself. There's been good and bad that's going on. So as always, let's talk about the bad. I have a yellow chorus wrasse who has disappeared. Odds are it is passed on. Who knows what happened to it? But I just don't see it in the tank. So keeping it real, I'm missing a yellow chorus wrasse. The other thing that's going on is my powder blue has been looking a little thin. So I've been trying to feed the fish more, which is counterintuitive to really where I want to be. I'm trying to bring nutrients down, so I'm trying to feed less, but I can't feed less because I'm already at the minimum of what I can feed this tank and keep the fish healthy. In fact, I've been having to bring the feeding up just to keep the fish fat and healthy. So hopefully I don't have any long-term problems from trying to cut back on food. So recently I've been pushing the feeding back up, which means I need to do more water changes and really focus on the water chemistry. So as far as the coral goes, there's been good and bad. This big green wall hammer over here has been kind of looking a little rough. Hopefully it's going to pull out of it. As with this other green one over here, I've got one Monipora that's still in decline, but the rest of them seem like they're coming back. The coloration is getting better. There's not so much die-off on them. So I think we're actually bringing the water quality up and making the gains we need to. But as far as some other corals go, they just can't be bothered. Big bubble coral looks amazing. The new softy section I put in is doing so good. This stuff is so happy. The 24-gallon that I dosed the fluconazole in is still algae-free and looking fantastic. That tank's doing great. Even with just minimal water changes and minimal effort, it's doing fantastic. So that tank's really killing it. So right now, I'm really just focusing on tank maintenance, trying to keep the water quality where it needs to be, just make sure the equipment's serviced, make sure the tanks are doing what they're supposed to. And I'm personally just trying to find time to put into my tank itself and videos. So, thank you for watching this episode of Mile High Reefers. Wanted to get you guys a quick update, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm not sure when the next video comes out, but I'll get them out as much and as often as I can. We'll see you later.